Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and, well, people of all ages and orientations. Today I have a battle here against TwilitLugia, and he wanted a mixed tier match, which, I think it was boiled down to just 2 OU and then as many other Pokemon as you want, or something like that. But, Dustbuster is a Pokemon I like to use in mixed tier matches because of the epic cuteness. So I brought it along here along with, one of my least favorite Pokemon. Well, actually, the evolution of one of my least favorite Pokemon, Raichu, named Roadkill, like every Pikachu should be. But we'll see who can make a impact on this battle. So he's going to go ahead and lead with Alvarez, his Crocodile. And my lead with Dustbuster, I'm just going to go ahead and U-turn. It's super effective. Obviously, he did get the Intimidate on, and I'm actually surprised how much damage it does. But he does get me with a Black Glasses boosted Pursuit. Of course, I know that he has Black Glasses due to my Frisk ability. And yeah, that Pursuit does quite a bit of damage as I just go into Altaria now. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. I decided just to try to go for a return. He's going to very wisely go out into his Toxapex here, which is going to obviously resist the Fairy move. He knew that the Altaria was coming. Altaria, of course, one of the newly released Megas, and in fact, I think we have most of them now. I also wanted to give a try Mega Deontay sometime soon, because that was one of my favorite Megas back from Gen 6, and it just came out as well, so look for that. So in comes Roadkill here, obviously evolved into a Raichu, and it's superior form. Funnily enough, he has a Raichu as well, but it's going to be a Alolan Raichu, so it's going to be Raichu versus Raichu a bit. And I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. He's just going to stay in after even scouting my move with Baneful Bunker. I guess he just lets me Volt Switch. He does have Regenerator probably, so not a very not a huge risk. So he's going to go ahead and set up his Toxic Spikes. I guess he really wanted to set them up, and they are going to be a major nuisance for me since I don't have a Poison type to get rid of them, nor did I really bring a Defogger or Rap Spinner, so there you go. Just going to go for a Charge Beam, but he is going to Baneful Bunk it, and yeah, now I'm just going to switch it up for Psychic. I'm actually kind of worried he's going to switch into his Crocodile, but thankfully he doesn't. He ends up just going into his Alolan Raichu, as I just go for a Psychic, which is resisted, but I do have the Life Orb, obviously, with, of course, Magic Guard, which negates the damage from that, and then I'm just going to Shadow Ball it, and yeah, that's pretty cool, because I'm just able to take it out. In comes his Marowak, though, and I'm not very confident I can KO this thing with a Shadow Ball, so I'm just going to go out into Dustbuster again, hoping that he's going to go for the Ghost move, which I would be immune to. I do see that he's the Thick Club now, and instead he just wisely goes for a Iron Head, which will be able to KO Dustbuster, and he was probably predicting Tapu Lele, which is a Pokemon, one of my OUs I brought. So I'm just going to go to Chandelure. It's the first switch, and Chandelure has a massive special attack stat, and I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball. It's stabbed and super effective, and I don't even care. He's going to go into Alvarez again, his Crocodile once again, but at that HP, due to my cute Dustbuster's U-turn, that's going to be a 2-hit KO, and if there was any doubt, I also get the special defense drop, which pretty much confirms 2-hit KO, although it looks like to me it would have been a 2-hit KO anyway, so probably not a big deal there. Gonna get that Shadow Ball, and yeah, that's pretty nice for Chandelure, because looking at the rest of his team, I can just go off to the races with Chandelure now. Obviously, he still has his Toxapex, which obviously can do some damage. Well, can also, can take a hit, but whatever. Anyway, he also has Poliwrath, and I'm not 100% sure I can KO this thing. I decided to go into Altaria because I obviously can hit it with a super effective Fairy move. He's just going to bulk up. And I decided to actually Dragon Dance. Looking back on it, I probably should have just went for the return right off the bat. It probably wouldn't have been able to kill at this range due to his bulk up, but at the same time, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I do go for the Dragon Dance. Try to just set up a little bit. Actually, it probably was the right play, as you're going to see. He does go for the Earthquake, which will hit me because my flying type, of course, goes away when I Mega Evolve into Mega Altaria. And, yeah, I'm just going to go for the return now, which is super effective, and will be able to just completely one-shot this Poliwrath. And he's going to go out into Toxapex because he resists Fairy, but I do carry Earthquake as well. Now, now obviously Toxapex is going to be physically defensive. That was with the looks of things. Even at +1, Earthquake is not going to be able to quite KO it because it's a Toxapex, and Toxapex is literally the biggest tank in the current meta. But it does decent damage, and I mean, he's going to be able to kill me now. I could have roosted there, but obviously he predicted that, not going for the Baneful Bunker. If he went for the Baneful Bunker, I think I might have died of my poison, so It was a pretty big prediction turn there. And I won it, so that's pretty cool. So in comes my Raichu again. I know he can't take a Volt Switch. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. He's going to Baneful Bunk again, and I still don't think he can take a Volt Switch. So he's pretty much forced to switch out here. I don't have to worry about his Crocodile anymore, which is 1 electric resistance. Although he also has his Marowak, and he switches into it. I'm like, oh crap! I completely forgot about the Lightning Rod, which most of the Marowaks carry. But instead, it looks like this Marowak is not Lightning Rod. So I'm like, oh well, thank God, because now I can just get my switch into Tapu Lele. And of course, with Psychic Surge, I should be able to KO this thing with Psy Shock. I am Scarfed, so I don't have to worry. Well, actually, I wouldn't have to worry about us beating this thing anyway, because Marowak's pretty slow. So I'm just going to go for the Psy Shock, and that will, in the Psychic Terrain, KO Marowak. But the other ability Marowak can learn, Cursed Body, does serious work here. I am locked into Psy Shocks, and because the Cursed Body disabled it, if I was to stay in here, it'd actually end up struggling, so I have to switch. It forces me to switch, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch into Chandelure against the incoming Serena, which of course is the new Grass Dominatrix Pokemon. And he's just going to go ahead and Trop Kick, which is going to not do very much damage, obviously being a grass move. It does lower my attack, but that's obviously useless as well. So I'm just going to go for the Fire Blast, and that's going to completely murder this thing. His last Pokemon is, of course, his Toxapex, which has been a Pokemon that he's been walling me on certain Pokemon the entire match. But due to the fact I brought 2 Psychics, and of course Raichu, I feel pretty confident that after he kills my Chandelure, I should be able to revenge kill him at my leisure, either with Tapu Lele, Alakazam, or Raichu. And I decide to actually finish on with Raichu. He's going to go ahead and, knowing that I'm going to die to Poison here, just set up a second layer of Toxic Spikes, but it doesn't actually matter, because the only Pokemon I have that isn't poisoned is Alakazam, and he is Magic Guard, so doesn't really matter, although I guess it's kind of free for him because he's not going to take anything from Fire Blast. I'm just going to die to the poison anyway. But now I can just go into Raichu, and I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt. He ends up actually living 1 Thunderbolt, which is pretty impressive. But with Poison Jab being, I think it's only attacking move, it's not going to be able to do enough damage to obviously KO me. So that's a good game there. TwilitLugia was fun. Kind of fun to see Raichu versus Raichu and do it. Let Dustbuster, you know, stretch out its cute little paws. So today's question of the day is, what is the most memorable key item in Pokemon for you? There's obviously been a lot of key items over the years. They really don't get much love, as most of them just kind of unlock certain parts of the plot and, you know, allow you to go forward in the plot. But there are some that you can obviously trigger some memories. I always thought in Generation 1 probably has, for me, the most memorable hold items. The 2 that I'm going to mention is the Sliff Scope, which obviously lets you see ghosts, and it has a really neat mechanic associated with it. Obviously, all of the ghosts in Lavender Tower appear as actual ghosts before you actually get it, so you can ID them. And secondly, I also find the Poke Flute to be an interesting one, because it can actually be used in battle to be pretty much used as Awakening, although it will actually awaken your opponent's Pokemon too, so very interesting key item. So leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Goodbye, y'all.